Red Alpha Custom Prints here for another episode of the Red Alpha Mugshot Monday podcast. Today we got something special. We got a special guest coming in from Camp Abel, here to promote the Buffalo Run Adventure Challenge. My friend Cody Cox. We were gonna start a little early and kind of get going, but he's a busy man, so I'm lucky to have him for the time that we have. But so as you guys know, it can't be a Mugshot Monday podcast if we're not talking about our coffee mugs. And today we got something a little bit special. We got the 2026 Buffalo Run logo on our coffee mugs. Of course, I got the left-handed one, and then I got Camp Babel on the other side. Can you see that, Cody?
That's awesome.
And so we made these special for today's episode. And Cody, we got one for you. And
Awesome.
and actually, what we want to do, we got another one here that we're gonna give away to whoever you choose, however you want to do it.
Nice.
Hopefully, we got some of your people tuning into the audience link. My wife is being the moderator over here, so she's putting the link and all that, and she'll be able to respond to any questions that we might have. So yeah, it's going to be all about the Buffalo Run this morning. I made sure that I was ready. I went out and I got the Cannonball Run Part One movie. I told Cody, I was just telling him, I said, from the first day that we met, I was like, I've seen a movie like that. It's called the Cannonball Run, and you're like, I think you said that that's what you were kind of going for, right?
That's right.
And so we watched it. We watched part two yesterday, and then we watched part one last night. And
I think part two wins it. Man, part two is way better than part one.
yeah, part two is funny. We were rolling laughing. Part two, part one's all right, but it's yeah, part two is good.
We're
My
still
wife-
aspiring to the monkey driving the car. I still want that to happen.
yeah, that'll
That's
be cool.
hilarious.
My wife, she likes to do research whenever we're watching movies, and she said that the Cannonball Run Part One was the first movie that they did
Those
bloopers?
bloopers at the end
Oh yeah, really?
when they rolled the credits. That was
Yeah,
that's who started it.
really.
Yeah, that was cool. So now everybody does it, and it's hilarious. But yeah, they were the first movie to do that, and which is a fun fact for all
I'll
you
tell
movie
you,
out there.
I was a kid when that movie came out, and the one thing that stood out in my mind was the car wash color change.
Oh yeah,
What
yeah,
was it? The Lambo that was one color
yeah.
and runs in there, and the water crew sprays it off and takes off another color. I
Yeah,
was like, dude, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. You know?
that is. I was like, man, that cop's never gonna catch them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, Cody, I guess we can go ahead and just get into this, man. Can you kind of introduce yourself? You're the big man now, but man, when you got started, I was like, I mean, it started out with just a few teams, right? And
Dude, it's crazy. And the Buffalo Run is how I got involved with Camp Abel. And did not know 6 years ago, nearly 6 years to the day ago, that it would completely change the trajectory of my life and what I was doing with my life. The Buffalo Run itself started, like you said, 6 years ago, 2021. I was sitting around in Steve Schooley's saddle shop, and we had some friends that ran a $500 car race. And there's a bunch of them across the country, that the Lemon 5000 and the Gambler 500, the Lemon 500. There's a lot of these junk car races, and we were looking at entering one, and we had some people show interest in it, and we were messing around on Facebook Marketplace and found some old car for $500, and I was going to buy it. And the more we got to talking about it, so, well, this could be a decent little fundraiser, and our founder, Renee Hicks, I knew her, went to church with Renee, the founder at Camp Abel, and they were talking about canceling some sessions because they had some bad weather, and didn't have anywhere to get out of the weather. And I told my wife, I said, man, we really ought to figure out how to build them a covered arena, to take a couple $1,000. I'm thinking just a covered pole barn little thing, just a little shed to get them out of the weather. They knew they did something with horses and special needs kids. I really didn't know what.
yeah,
So we kind of put together that first Buffalo Run to raise a little money, and thought we might raise $5,000 or $10,000, and had a couple teams get together, and the more we talked about it, the more interest we had. And, that first year we had 17 teams, which was a lot of teams,
Yeah.
and had a lot of people gathering up sponsors. And I needed somebody to do some banners. And, the more people I went to, everybody was, number one, banners are expensive. I mean, that's a massive cost. We didn't know how this thing was going to take off, And my wife offices directly across the street from you guys there. And she said, well, try Red Alpha. They got a sign right there on the street. And I didn't know who you were, and I called and kind of told you what we were doing. And you said, yeah, we'll take a look at it. And little did you know, 6 years later, you were going to be pestering me all year saying, hey, give me heads up. And a week before time, I was going to hit you right in the teeth with 500 freaking banners,
Yeah.
And I was never going to get any better at it. I was going to keep kicking you in the teeth for 6 years,
I mean, you can tell, man. I had you literally kicked me in the teeth.
Dude, this thing has gotten out of hand. That first year. But like I said, that first year, I think we did. I was looking at 13 banners or something. That we did for sponsors that you guys did for us. And I was looking back the other day, and a lot of those are still with us, have doubled, tripled, 4 or 5 times the money what they were sponsoring that first year. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they threw that money at us that first year, not knowing what it was, is just a testament to, the goodwill people put behind Miss Renee and behind Camp Able. About, like I said, that first year, 17 teams, we went to the Grand Canyon and back. That first Buffalo run, and it was true $500 cards. I mean, it was an absolute train wreck. We had people breaking down all over the place. One team switched the transmission out on the side of the road. We only had one not make it back, honestly. They broke down in, where was it? Somewhere about by Fort Sumner, they broke down. But no, it was tremendous. And when the dust all settled, we thought we'd raise $5,000 or $10,000. That first year raised $107,000.
Man.
And including banners, including what we paid you, we spent $1,200.
Wow.
I mean, number one, you gave us a heck of a discount. I mean, you said, man, I can get behind this. And but we spent $1,200 total on that first year and raised $107,000. And it was, we thought, this is something, But about 2 weeks after that, that first Buffalo run, Camp Able has their 2 summer camps, family camps during the summer. And the director at the time, Lotus Oath, invited us, Heather and I, to camp, said, you need to see what you raise this money for. Because like I said, we didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
We went to camp that first week, spent 4 days there, watched these kids, watched it's hard not to get emotional. I mean, watched how fast these kids progressed and developed in that environment. And we pulled out of there after 4 days, and I said, this is what we do now. Some way, somehow, we got to get involved. And not knowing that, 6 years later, that would be my entire life. It's absolutely tremendous, the effect that Camp Able and the team at Camp Able has on these kids. It's absolutely tremendous. And like I said, it's just been a blur the last 6 years, but it has come so far.
Yeah. Well, a little over 4 years, our grandson was born, and I too, we didn't know what the Buffalo Run was, where the money was going to. We didn't know anything about Camp Able, but we watched that movie that you guys put out at the Paramount. Was it last year or the year before last? I can't remember.
Last year, yeah.
Last year. And so that kind of opened my eyes to the whole, horse therapy and the kids that are being served. And so our grandson, who is going on 5 years old, he was, he's on the spectrum. And so it's something to where it's new to us, it's new to our kids, and it's like, that right there just kind of, I guess it kind of gave us more motivation to be a part of, this whole event, because it's, I don't know, I mean, it's doing God's work is what I see.
For sure. Well, and it's like I said, there's nothing like it. And you and I have talked about your grandson before, and trying to get him involved at Texas Tech in Lubbock, or at the refuge out there in Lubbock. There's therapeutic riding centers all over the place. And I tell people it doesn't matter if you're involved with Camp Able, wherever you live. It's hard to get involved with nonprofits that aren't in your local area. Man, find one close to you because they're all working and they're all doing. PATH is our credentialing body, Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship, PATH International. Get on that website. You can find therapeutic riding centers close to you. Man, get those kids involved. Support those centers because they're all just like Camp Able. We're blessed. We've got tremendous support. The Buffalo Run, we've got tremendous local support. We've got great staff. We've got great grant writers. We're financially blessed. Those people need support. These centers are, there are people not in the position we are, not the communities. Abilene in general. Holy cow, dude! Abilene is you talk about a giving community. I see these TikToks now hitting in these social media posts, and this AI is running Abilene, and all this stuff is running Abilene, and Abilene's going downhill. Dude, not from where I'm standing. It's scary. Abilene's changing, but dude, look at Abilene Gives. This last Abilene Gives. Man, the hearts and the giving in this community is freaking tremendous. It's absolutely huge.
Yeah. I mean, not from where I'm standing either. I mean, we got a call from a company out of Austin that they needed us to print a bunch of signs for an event there at the data center, and they needed them. They said the price doesn't matter, and I was like, all right, well, this is how we can make it happen, and they had no problem. So I mean, that kind of deal. We've done several. Print projects for either local companies that are working on the data center or direct, I guess companies that are actually putting it all together or whatever. And so for us, I mean, it's just been good for our business as well, doing signs and things like that. But yeah. But that's just our perspective. I don't know what everybody else is looking at, but we are actually going live on TikTok. So TikTok, if you can't see Cody, make sure you log in on Facebook or go to the audience link on that we have at the bottom of the post, so that way you guys can see Cody, know who I'm talking to. There is actually somebody on the other side of the screen. It's not just me pretending to talk to somebody. But
take up ventriloquism. You just get a dummy sock puppet.
That's right. I need to have one. Yeah.
I've been called worse.
Yeah, me too. But so yeah, it was 6 years ago you came by, and like you said, we didn't know each other. I didn't know that that's how you came about. I thought someone like, I think maybe Kent Beck, or because we had some mutual friends, we just had never.
For sure, yeah.
And so I was just kind of going down the list. I said it could have been here, it could have been that. And then so you came, and you just we kind of met under my carport, and you kind of told me what you were looking for, and I was like, man, this sounds fun. I would love to even have a vehicle one day, to race in it, and then it was just from there, man. Every year we look forward to it, and we try to make sure that our designs are on point, and I don't think that we've in 6 years we haven't disappointed you yet.
Oh no, dude. And so every year we keep those banners and in a very disorganized fashion since day one. And I was looking through and I saw Dutchlander's banner in there. And I remember that was the first one. Miss Connie passed away. It's been 2 years ago now. But she was our first supporter. And I saw her banner in there. And I have a hard time not getting emotional. I've got her brand out here right on the door. Every year she's been battling cancer the last 2 years, but every year she showed up at the starting line and brought us a check, and but I had the girls go in there and put all the banners on a spreadsheet so we could actually, inventory what we had. Mm-hmm. And there's 92 banners on that spreadsheet.
Wow.
And you've printed every one of those banners, and now, mind you, that 92 banners, not including the group banners and the big, large sponsor banners, every year when we're driving T-posts in the ground out here and it's hot and it's freaking miserable, and those guys are pounding those in out there. Yeah. And I'm going, dude, every T-post is $1,000 bill.
Yeah.
Those are $1,000 sponsors, every one of those banners. Yeah. That's humbling to think about. I mean, that's $92,000. Sitting in a bucket out there that's come to Camp Able, and then, you look at the expenses of in 5 years, Buffalo Runs raised $2.3 million. Our
Man.
expenses after that first year, that set the precedent. All right, we spent nothing. We raised 107,000. We spent $1,200.
Mhm.
Now going forward, that's the goal. There's no reason to throw $100,000 party to raise $200,000.
That's right.
So expenses have been at the forefront of our mind. We've raised in the last 5 Buffalo Runs, total $2.3 million. Our expenses are right at 3.8%. So the goal is to keep them under 5% every year.
Yeah.
And it would average 3.8%. That's probably one of my proudest. And we couldn't have done that without Lotus Oath, who's been our finance director. And that lady, I always joke with her. And I said, if Camp Abel's been around since 2014, if we bought a halter for $2.37 in 2014, there's a receipt for it. And if there's not, she's still hunting that receipt, So, and it takes those kind of people to keep a nonprofit in order, and an event like this, to keep tabs on those costs. And I honestly think that's why it's so successful, because people realize that, 97 cents of every freaking dollar is going to Camp Abel, and it's not just sitting in an account. You can come out to the farm and you can see it. It's that little arena that we planned on building, that little cover, it happened in a hurry. A 4,000 square foot learning center happened in a hurry. A vet shed happened in a hurry. We're in the final stages of planning 52,000 square foot therapeutic riding center that'll have diagnostics, PT, OT, speech, language labs, sensory labs. It's huge. It has changed the landscape, for the good. So
Yeah. Man, you've done an amazing job. It's like you really don't know what's inside a person. It's just like whenever I met you, it was just kind of like, this is a cool event. It's something fun. Be nice to be a part of. But I didn't know like what I say God put something inside of you, man, because he put you in the right place. Camp Abel was the right thing to bring it out of you, and look what God has been able to do through you. And of course,
I don't think, I have a hard time thinking it's me. It's, dude, you would believe the team we've got out there.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the old man. I'm 48 years old, and my next youngest person was born the year I graduated high school.
Oh,
You
wow.
would not believe the talent of these young people that we have out there.
Yeah.
And the work ethic. I always, us old folks now always diss the generation of these Gen Z folks, man. But dude, I've got a 21-year-old with a work ethic and a 60-year-old rancher, and this girl gets up every morning at 5:45 and she's going. I've got 23, 24-year-olds that, they're out at daylight. They're hustling, they're studying it. It's, we couldn't do it without that passion. And I've said the whole time, you cannot pay for passion.
That's right.
You find passionate people and you better be able to pay them. And that ain't me. That's a God thing. That's the good Lord has put these people together, and I've said all the time, and it's just like the success of this Buffalo Run, the right people, the right resources come along at the right time, and that's it. The collection is there, and there's also such thing as the right people for the right time, and for each stage of the game, the right people come along. And dude, it's the team we've got out there they're the right people for the right time. And dude, I'm humbled to work with these young people. They make me look stupid. And that's what I said. Always surround yourself with smarter people than you are, and it makes you look smart. And that's all I've done, and it's these people are good, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to see all the great work that you guys are doing. I think it's about time that me and my wife kind of show up and just kind of see it firsthand, and just kind of see what's all involved. I guess we're seeing it through our perspective as the printer,
For sure.
knowing you, but if we can actually see it, with our own eyes, I guess. It just might, who knows, it might light a fire in us, it's
Well, and that was me. And that's, like I said, I knew what they did because I heard it. I saw it on the news, saw it on YouTube, whatever. And Once you see it in action, once you're out there, your feet in the dirt, dude, it changes the game. And we have people all the time, donors that, and that's the thing that I don't understand, dude. We have people uh, write us huge checks, say, I want to donate to this cause, that have never stepped foot on the place.
Yeah.
That's, you talk about humbling.
Yeah.
We believe in the cause so much, we've never even been out there, but we see it, we heard, people say this, we met one of your instructors, that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
We met this 23-year-old that works out there, and they're so on fire for that place that it was so inspiring that we're going to scratch this check for 25 grand.
Yeah.
That's huge, dude.
Yeah.
And I've never met anybody that worked at Target that was so excited about working at Target that made me want to go shop at Target. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And dude, that's just you can't buy that. You can't pay those people enough. I'm trying, but you can't pay those people enough to for that kind of passion.
Yeah, I agree. So Cody, we'll have one of these for you as well. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
You're right-handed, okay. That way the logo's facing the right way. See,
There you go.
I'm left-handed, so it's facing like that. But my wife,
People don't think about that. Not enough people think about that.
yeah, I had to think about it because it's like, hey, how come the logo is facing me and not out?
I know.
Got to think about that. This is a right-hander's mug.
Awesome.
So, I wanted you to kind of like, say what the criteria was. Who do you want to win this? Is there, whoever comments next, or whoever shares the post, or
Let's see.
$1 donation, whatever you want to do, and we'll give it to them.
Let's see. I say whoever's listening from the farthest away. I'll pay the shipping on it. I've got all the stuff to package it. Whoever comments from the furthest away.
There you go.
Does that
All
work?
That'll work. Whoever's listening the farthest away from Abilene, Texas, you can on Facebook, TikTok, or on the Riverside app. If you joined as the audience, let us know where you're listening from, and then we'll send you. This is actually one of a kind, I guess, because it's only us, and then we'll get that shipped out to you. Yes, sir. So Cody, anything else that you wanted to mention, like any last minute call to action for anybody who might be listening, sponsors?
Man,
Yeah.
follow along. We're taking off Thursday at 6 p.m. That Buffalo Run Facebook group. We've got 31 teams signed up this year going to Branson, Missouri. So everybody's pulling out at 6 o'clock Thursday evening. And then Saturday, we've got the street dance in Buffalo Gap. The weather is not looking promising for Saturday. So,
Uh-oh.
but the festivities will go on. We've got that big covered arena. If we have to, we'll move out to the covered arena. So,
Right.
but yeah, follow along, dude. And thank you guys. I know y'all are, because of my procrastination and disorganization, y'all have got a busy 3 days ahead. So,
Yeah. We
It
do.
makes you feel alive.
It's a rush. So we drink a lot of coffee. We stay up late, but we're gonna make it happen, just like we always
thank you
do.
guys, man. Thank y'all.
We appreciate y'all. I mean, just as a friend, but then we know that there's options out there, but we thank you for choosing us every year, and we'll roll as long as you have us, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys.
All right, Cody. Well, you have a good day. We'll talk to you
Y'all
soon.
too. Later.